Okay, so today we're going to talk about a kind of happy topic, and that is transformation and the transformation that comes with recovery. So, when we talk about putting down a drink or a drug, that is a difficult process. That's first, like, little starting point of the process is it's really tricky. It's really hard work. Like, you need to not only nurture mind, body, and spirit, really untangle that relationship that you have with the substance and why. You need to reprogram the neurological pathways. You need to develop a relationship with your body, your nervous system, learn how to calm your nervous system, work with most likely the vagus nerve is my recommendation, but the vagus nerve to understand breath, heart rate, really work with the body to be able to have a regulated nervous system and clear state of mind. So which is going to mean you're going to need some kind of mind training, like meditation, or you might have been a lead sports person and it may come through extreme sports. So there's other ways of training your mind. Sudoku, I don't know, whatever it is. But let's just say, in terms of getting sober and quitting drinking or drugs on a long-term basis, that first step of putting down the drink or drug, of understanding what your triggers are and being able to not be triggered by them, is hard work. There's often a lot of work around, dysfunctional family dynamics, working through those, understanding your own boundaries, your own self-worth, quietening the inner critic. A lot of stuff here, a lot of hard work, a lot of personal growth, a lot of stuff that's going to change who you are in context of the world. So let's start talking about all the advantages of this stuff now. So there's some of the work that you'll be doing, and then what you're going to get from that. Firstly, one of the things that you get is what's not there. So no shame, lies, deception, fear. Some of the things that kind of linger in people's hearts, even if it's that dissatisfaction or the emptiness, or people say it's a God-shaped hole or love-shaped hole, but there's something missing inside. So now sometimes that takes longer on the recovery journey to get that to feel full again, to feel whole, because sometimes when we look at becoming a functional adult, growing in recovery, the personal growth journey, the transition journey, the spiritual journey for many is an unlearning of a lot of things, and it's also a growing up for a lot of people, because we've learned some very dysfunctional ways and adapted. If you look at the developmental model, there's the adapted adult child, the ways that we exist in the world that we've learned that are a little bit dysfunctional, but we learn how to show up as functional, how to hold boundaries and have self-respect. And as we do that, the quality of our lives gets better. The quality of our relationships gets better. The quality of our mind gets better. I was talking to a friend today, and we're saying, the idea is to have a mind that is, how do I put this in nicer terms, is one that is it's not that you can't disturb me. It's possible that I am disturbed, but I'm mainly undisturbable. So if I've got up, I've done my meditation, I've been in nature, I've been for a run, yes, you could probably still say something. If you know me and you love me, you can still hurt me. But if you're a random writing a ridiculous comment on one of my posts, you're not going to bother me. Because I've done some training on my mind. And, to get to this stage of survival, in recovery from alcoholism and almost dying, a couple of catty comments are not going to take me down. And while we're on the topic, thank you for the people who are writing beautiful comments and are really grateful for what I'm looking to share. I really just genuinely hope that, in my own process of getting sober and all the work that I do, that if I can give some of this information away and it can help some people who are suffering or loved ones of sufferers, then bring it on, bring it on. I'm here. Send me a comment, send me a DM. But today I really just wanted to talk about the gift of transformation and how beautiful it is further along that journey when you feel whole, when you feel full, when you've got fulfilling relationships, when you get up in the morning, there's no shame, you know, when you reach into the depths of your soul, there isn't fear or agony or pain or regret or remorse. There's a feeling of kind of contentment, you know, feeling of contentment and happiness. And of course it's life, you know, there's ups and there's downs and there's good and there's bad. And if you read my Instagram, you know, I share very honestly, like, you know, and I follow Buddhist philosophy. So I'll talk about life and suffering and the dark nights of the soul. And I'll talk about the joys and gratitude and the things that we can be. And that's what I think part of the journey of recovery is just having that really full experience of life, because you're not numbing, dumbing and distracting anymore. You're really living life so you can have meaningful, deep-hearted, fulfilling connections with other humans. You can belong, you can love and be loved. And there's so many joys that comes with that sense of inner peace, and the gifts that come along. And we'll talk more about those, and they can be financial, they can be friendship, they can be career, they can be love life, but they come. So if anyone wants to share in the comments any of the gifts that they've got of recovery, I would love to hear from you.